Hi everyone, welcome to Modern Mom Girl. It's your girl Emmy.
And it's your girl Lex. So welcome back, but welcome if you are new here. We are here to inspire, empower, and encourage Asian women to unapologetically be themselves. So if you've been here before, welcome back. And also, Valentine's Day has already passed, so we hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether you're single, taken, or whatever it may be. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
MHG. So today's episode is dealing with work drama. When should you leave that, And so the topics that we will be covering are: what does an unhealthy work environment look like? Our experiences, when should you leave your job, and tips and advice. All right, let's jump into it.
All right. I feel like me personally, I don't think I've really been in super toxic work environment. Maybe I feel like the most toxic one was back then when I was still working in Little Asia. But then I feel like that was kind of the only place that was super toxic. But then I feel like the jobs now is kind of really subtle, but you don't really realize it.
Mm-hmm.
But to start off, I feel like unhealthy work environments, it really depends on the job. But really broadly, when they're always making you do things that are outside of your work description, and also making you do more than one job, that's kind of the same thing.
But there's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then also when what they say doesn't align with what they do doesn't align with their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with that, it's just so with a previous job, I was doing this position, let's see, for around 2 years already, and I voiced to them multiple times that oh, I want to do a different position, or I applied to different positions internally and I didn't get accepted. And then when I talk about being interested in other positions, they're like, oh, well, you're just so good at your position, you're so good at your job and what you do, I'm like, and what's the point? I don't care if I'm good at my position. I know I'm good at it. I'm excelling at it. That's why I want to move up and learn more skills.
Period.
What else can I do in this position when I'm doing the same things for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that for me is really toxic, and it's they just don't want you to move up. So there's no point of staying in that company or with that place, because no matter how long you stay, you'll still be at that same position, and pay raise bare minimum. They're not going to raise you to do more than you're required to do with your position,
Yeah.
And then another one is also doing 2 roles in my position. Super yeah, just when I voiced about it, they were just oh, it's not our budget to, hire another person. I'm like, well, you guys fired that person, so you should hire them back again, because now I'm doing more than I'm supposed to, and I can't balance the work because there's just so much going on. I'm the only one literally on my team that's on my actual team. There's just me. No one. People say they'll help, but it's not they're actually helping, because they don't know what I'm doing, or they don't know how to help me,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is another experience for me. And then lastly, this was when I was in high school, when I worked at a restaurant. Okay, I worked at a restaurant, and there was the previous owners. They were really good. They were super good. And then all of a sudden, the owner changed. It's the new owner, but I used to work with the person that's the new owner now was working with me still. But then now that they're the owner, they act as so entitled. That guy was just literally bossing me around. Go do this, go do that. He's literally standing there doing nothing. Not even serving tables, just bossing me around. And then at the end of the shift, he'll take the damn tips and split it with him. What did you do? You didn't do nothing. You didn't do anything. You're splitting tips with with you,
Yeah.
You don't deserve that tip. But I had one breaking point when, what's it called? Yeah, it was just so busy. I was like so busy doing tables, and he was just standing literally at the cashier. And this person wanted to check out, like, oh, they wanted some pork belly or something like that. Yeah, to Hmong people. So I'm not saying Hmong people are bad, but just some owners, you know. Uh, yeah. So they wanted some pork belly or something. He's like, oh, can you go like do this for me? I'm like, what are you doing? I literally said like that, like, what are you doing? And Hmong no, and then I'm like, okay, you're just standing there, so do something. Go do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, but he, he was just being so annoying, so I wouldn't go do it. I chopped it up, and I was just super pissed off. When I get really pissed off, I literally, like, I tear up, which I hate. But you know what I did? I walked out of that damn place and went home, because I'm not taking this damn BS no more, you know? It's been like I had such a good time working there with the previous owners and the new owners. It was literally not even like a month. Yeah, and then I just was like, they literally, like, I just snapped. I was like, no, I'm not gonna deal with this BS. Like, literally, like, being so disrespectful when I'm freaking working and doing my job when you're not doing anything. Just because you're the owner doesn't mean anything, you know. So yeah, I literally left, and my mom used to work there too. So I was like, Mom, give my money, and I'm not ever showing up there again. Yeah. So
Period.
yeah, those are my experiences. I can't really think of any other ones that were like toxic. Yeah.
Damn, you lucky. Oh my lord.
She has a lot.
Where do I even begin? Oh, I forgot to say I'm also wearing like a professional corporate shirt for this episode too, because why not? You know, I'm really passionate about this topic and episode.
Yes.
So we will start with, you know, being new in the workforce. I feel like once when you're out of college or you're actually like if you didn't go to college, like you're just entering in the workforce, you are very new. And so you are just bound to be a team player. You're just bound to be a yes person.
Yep.
Because
Yes,
you
and.
want to like start getting into the nitty gritty of everything. And really, you just want to be a team player. But I don't know why other people don't see it like that. They see it as a way to be like, oh, I'm definitely gonna take advantage of you. Like you always say yes. I'm gonna ask you just out of courtesy if you can do it when I already know you're gonna say yes. And then they start to not ask you. They start just demanding you. But then like you're still in a new position and you're like, oh shoot, what do I do? Now I kind of feel stuck because I have been saying yes, but now like they're starting to throw this on my plate, but I can't really like take it back to them too because I'm still in my like lower position. So how do I navigate this? And if I go to HR, like how do I even tell them this too? Like you're new to the workforce, you don't know the steps or anything, you don't know what's ethical and what's not, but you can definitely feel it though. So right off the bat, just being that yes person in a new work environment, being new in the workforce, like that was just, I feel like now my experience for that is over. Like I'm no longer a yes person. I have
because now you know how to navigate it.
Yes,
we've experienced it before.
Yeah, I created my boundaries, and I don't want to say like every person will have to go through this, but I just feel like you have to go through this because like it's part of the corporate kind of like world, like the office setting, you know, like
I hate corporate.
I don't want to say you have to go through it, but it's just kind of like if you enter in the workforce and you just know your boundaries right off the bat, good for you. Period, you know. But I just found it hard for myself, and it just took a lot of learning experiences for me, cuz now I'm just like if I don't have enough, or if I don't have space on my plate, then I'm just not going to take that project. And I have said no before in my job, and I feel so good about it. Like I feel mean, but I know I'm not being mean though. I'm just
setting your boundaries.
Yeah, protecting my peace because I'm not about to stress over this. I'm not about to have a crash out because I didn't finish a project that wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Like, bye. So another one too, oh my Lord, what a time this was. What a time. I had my boss interrogate me prior boss interrogate me. I feel like I'm a very nice person, and I don't know, I guess I come off as like being like a snitch or something. I will never snitch, okay? If you know me, I will never snitch. I will never tell a soul. If you're my people, no, I'm taking that to the grave. But I think I just have this like really trusty face where like they can just get it out of me, right? And so she was interrogating me, and with like this work drama that was going on that I was not a part of. But I was like, girl, I'm not no snitch. I'm not going to tell you. And if I was to be a snitch, I'll be talking to HR about it, you know, and you're not HR. I'm not going to trust you. And so I just kept it really diplomatic and professional. I was like, I'm trying to figure out a way to exit this conversation. And so I was doing my best to just be like, yeah, definitely. Da, da, da. All right, bye. And it was the craziest conversation I've ever had in my professional experience. Like, I just never thought this was ever going to happen to me, where I was gonna get sat down and interrogated, like, oh, who did this, who did that, were you in this, what happened, all that stuff. And moving on to the next one, I wrote a whole letter to HR and I presented it to them because I'm like, this is what happened and this is what you should know. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. And another one.
I remember reading the letter.
Yeah.
I was like, how does this look?
Yeah, another one, the last one. Same with like what Emmy said too, no growth. Working at a position where I didn't like, and the reason why I did, because I wanted to get my foot in the door. And I think that, you know, as long as you start a position and you tell your boss or your manager that I do want to navigate into a new role or position, then they should help you to get there.
Help guide you.
Yeah. But instead, just like what they told Emmy, like, oh, but you're good at your job. Like, you should just like stay here, you know? And yeah, I know I'm good at it because it's easy. Like, anyone could do this. And so why would I want to stay at this entry level position forever? Like, I know that we're fairly new out of college and into the workforce, but we have gained some experience. And plus with this economy, honey,
girl, how much experience do y'all need? Jesus Christ.
Right.
Like 10 years?
Yeah. How are we supposed to do that?
10 years. I was 15 years old.
Right?
In freaking high school. Like
10 years for a data clerk position.
I should have been working in my mom's stomach.
Right? Oh my Lord. I swear.
Life is hard.
And so moving on to the next.
Yes.
When should you leave?
I feel like it's just so like, just leave when it's not good. Just leave when you know like you can't get nowhere else from this job. Just leave when you know you're not being heard, not being respected, and just leave when you know you're ready for something new and you need new skills, because you know that this place will not bring that to you anymore, you know. So that's what I need to do.
Period. Honestly, y'all just need to go listen to our prior episode about toxic exes, because
it's basically the
same situation, just different relationship.
Yeah.
You know? But basically, same thing with what Emmy said too. I would say ask you these 3 questions. What is specifically frustrating you, and is it solvable? Are you the reason you're unhappy at work? And are you running away from something or stepping into something? And the reason why these 3 questions help me is because basically it just asks yourself, are you the problem, or is your work the problem? You know, like if you are the problem, then to be honest, it is solvable. But if you're not the problem, and if you've already taken it up to appropriate levels and it hasn't been solved, then you already know the answer to your questions, honey. Like, you gotta VIP.
Leave.
And so, advice for you if you are in this situation, or if you do ever get in this situation, I pray to you that you don't. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like my advice would be, I think my biggest advice would be, don't leave on a bad note, even though it is bad. Like, yes, I did do that at a restaurant job when I was like 16 or 17, but whatever. But like for like, just like more professional jobs or corporate jobs, don't leave on a bad note. Like, let them know what you disliked about your position and how they treated you and whatnot. And yeah, leave on a good note and let them know how they could do better so that, they don't do that to a different employee that's going to join that place. And you still want good like referrals when you get a new job and stuff. Like, it's never good to leave relationships in bad blood unless they're a toxic ex, then that's okay. But that's the
Yes.
difference with relationships and like work, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think don't ever leave a job on a bad note. Do it positively so that you don't feel like just so negative. Like, I feel like feeling negative is just such a big impact on a person. And
Yeah, and it's exhausting. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I feel like that one is my biggest advice. And then another one is, don't ever like leave a job without having another job lined up. Like,
That one.
yeah, that's what I did previously back then. And God, was I struggling, sis. And that's what I'm gonna do again soon before I leave. And then am I gonna struggle? I already know.
Oh,
Like,
bestie.
don't be like me, okay? Don't be like me. So make sure you already have like a job lined up. And I know right now, like, it's so hard in the job economy, like looking for jobs, so stressful. But like, don't give up.
That little lowercase.
Don't give up. Like, just keep looking, and it's okay if you can't get that dream job like right away. Just we'll work towards it. So you'll keep working towards it. And lastly, my advice for leaving a toxic job is just make sure like you is happy. Like, I think nothing really matters most except you, like yourself and your feelings and how how you are during that situation. So just make sure you're happy while you're leaving and while you're out of that job. So yeah,
Period. Yes.
that's my advice.
Mhm.
Short, sweet, and simple.
Okay. So for me, create a plan always. Create a plan on how you're going to leave, whether if you don't have a job lined up, then create like a savings for that emergency time that you are, actively looking for jobs, and work on your self-development and skills. Even though, you may be unemployed for that time that you leave your job, you could still work on your skills.
You got
and
hella
your
time.
self-development. Right? Exactly. Like 40 weeks of working, now it's 40 weeks of working on yourself.
40 hours.
Oh yeah, I said 40 weeks. But yeah, 40 hours a week. Yeah. And also really like believe. I know it's cheesy, but you really do have to believe in yourself that you will get a position and the opportunity that you want. You just really got to manifest that for yourself. You have to really know yourself and just believe in yourself. And this one is also cheesy too. And I know that like you don't even want to do this anymore, but you have to stay positive. Like, being negative is really draining, and you don't want to carry all of that negative feeling.
Because I feel like when you're negative, you'll just keep drawing in negative things continuously,
Yeah.
So it's really like your energy really attracts the same energy to you. So
right.
really
Versus
be positive.
Yeah, versus being positive. Like, you just see so much clearer, so much clarity, brighter, and you actually see you being in a better place than you were before and currently are. So I would say like to balance it, like for me, like having a healthy amount of crash outs so you can neutralize your positivity and negativity. Because to be honest, I'd rather have like, you know, just like weekly crash outs, like, oh my God, I hate my life, like what the fuck? And then like the next day be like, la la
I'm
la,
great.
I'm grateful all the time, you know, like that's just how I just neutralize the negativity and positivity. So every day I'm not negative, but I'm positive every day. Yeah. Always keep receipts. Okay, I swear you have to keep your receipts. Like when you notice something, when you feel something going down, you got to write it right away. Type it up, put it in a document, write it on a sticky note, put it in your bag. Like you just have to have the receipt of what happened, because trust me, you forget. Like once when you're working and yesterday was yesterday, you don't even remember what yesterday was.
Yep.
And so that's why you have to keep receipts about what happens.
Mhm.
Even when you're in a meeting with your boss and you notice that your boss is not paying attention to you, write that shit down. You have your notepad, be like, yep, my boss is not paying attention to me right now because he or she is doing something else, disregarding whatever I'm saying. Like these are the receipts I'm talking about, because trust me, they will use anything they have against you to you. So on to the next. Connect with a mentor or friends to, you know, help alleviate your situation and your problems. Like I literally talk to Emmy every single day about my problems at work. Like I had her read my letter too and everything, because I'm just like, girl, you need to help me. Like I can't. And I also talk to my family and friends, and I would say connect with your trustworthy coworkers / colleagues. I know, like, I don't believe in work gossip or work drama, but I think when you are at a point in your life where you also know that your coworker is feeling like that too, you guys can relate to each other. You know, you're not talking shit. You're stating
Facts.
shit.
You're stating
Okay.
facts.
Yes, exactly. So there's a difference between talking shit and stating facts. So, period. And, you know, like what we always say here, give yourself grace. Like you are enough.
Yes.
You're doing enough. It's not that you're not good enough, but you're just too much, and they can't handle that. They can't handle your potential. So that's why they want to keep you small. So yeah, and that's pretty much it, girlies.
Last reminder, it's okay to move on.
Period.
I feel like we get stuck in that mindset, like, oh, I've been here for so long. Like, what am I going to do? Like, what can you do? There's nothing else to do, you know? So it's okay to move on, guys.
Yes.
It's okay. Yeah, but that's all for today's episode, y'all.
We hope y'all enjoyed it. Get out of that toxic environment. It's not good for you. Eat healthy.
Eat healthy, y'all. All right. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did, because like we said, we're getting rid of toxic stuff 2025. All right. All right. So don't forget to tune in to Lex's Rich Girl Energy episode next Wednesday. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram at Madam Mom Girl. And we will see you soon, girlies.